What is good, maniacs and bookworms alike? This is your boy Media Fiend, and welcome back to another Media Fiends Beyond the Bookshelf. And as you can tell by the title of this week's episode, we're diving into a Stephen King classic. And we're also diving into a hefty bitch of a book. And what is that book? It. Whew. What can your boy Media Fiend say about it? Well, we're just diving right into it. This book was incredible. This book was scary. This book was long. This book was everything that a good horror thriller book should be. Also, there's some bad. There's a lot of filler in this book. Stephen King has a way of writing that really sucks the reader in. So if you don't know the story of it is about these 7 kids who live in this town called Derry. And there is this cosmic being that takes the shape of a clown to basically eat the kids of this town of Derry. Well, they grow up and they go their separate ways and they forget about Derry. They forget about the clown. They forget about everything. They forget about their complete summer of 58. It's the summer of 58. And this is when they go head to head with the clown, but they forget all of this. So they come back as adults. And as adults, they start remembering what's going on slowly but surely. They start having experiences custom to them, basically, that it did to them when they were younger. They started remembering it. And just all around, the characters were great. I will say I might be on the wrong side here. I did not like Richie. I thought Richie was annoying. It was one of them things where he kept trying to be funny and it wasn't. Bill was my favorite character. Bill was a beast in this. Pennywise, some of the stuff Pennywise did in this book was insane. And it's crazy because we're all familiar with the films. We're familiar with the TV film or the miniseries, and we're familiar with the Skarsgård Pennywise. But there is a lot of stuff in this book that they do not put in the movies. And for good reason. At times, I forget that the characters in this book are like 12 years old. They talk like adults. They act like adults. Like, Henry Bowers is a prick, dude. He is a very hateable character in this book as a kid. I cannot stand Henry Bowers. He is a douche nozzle. And everybody he associates with him, they're all terrible. I feel bad for Bev. She has it the worst in the fact that to her, love is pain, if that makes sense. And her husband, bro. Oh, when Mike makes the phone call to get everybody back to Derry to take on it again, her husband, he is, a part of my language, but he is the biggest piece of shit on this planet, dude. Oh my God. He did things in this book to Bev that if he was a real person and I was in the vicinity of this dude, I would wreck this dude's day. He is awful. I wanted to see him get it more than the way he got it. But, he's awful. He was an awful person. What else? Eddie, you feel for Eddie. His mom was just outrageous. A hypochondriac. I'm a hypochondriac, but this woman took it to the next level, with her son. It was insane. And Mike was the only one out of the 7 who actually didn't forget what happened because he never left Derry. So it was good. But like I said, also in a way, this book is heavy. Sorry, but also in a way, Stephen King has a lot of filler in this. There's a lot of parts in this book that really make no sense to the story at all. They just felt like they were forced so they could be like, oh yeah, there was a clown in the background. You know what I mean? There was this bar called the Black Spot, and it was a bar for African Americans back in the 30s, African American soldiers, because unfortunately back then racism was a thing, and they weren't allowed in the white bars, so they made their own. Well, it got burnt down, but there was white college kids partying in that bar as well, because it actually became a happening spot. And so they threw that in there because they had to be like, oh yeah, there was a clown, blah, blah, blah. You know, stuff like that. Parts like that were very unnecessary. I tell a lot of people that if Stephen King would have just stuck to the Pennywise Losers Club story, Henry Bowers, this book probably would be between 580 to about 780 pages. But it's 1,153. A lot of it is filler, and I'm just being honest. It's still a great book. It's still worth the read. It's a long book. I don't know if he got paid per word, so he had to make it longer and just throw filler in there to kind of like force the clown in each of the scenes that really didn't need to be there. But yeah, there's some stuff that could have done without. There's also that scene that everybody talks about, which, yeah, it shouldn't happen with 12-year-olds. But it was a different time back when this was written, so I guess whatever. But all in all, the book was fantastic. When it concentrated on the story of Pennywise, the Losers Club, Henry Bowers, all that, the book was terrifying. It was, Pennywise did things in this book that they could never show in the movies to these kids. So it was a phenomenal book. The twist at the end was kind of weird. I was like, oh shit. But yeah, the twist at the end was great. The book was great. Didn't care for the filler, but in my opinion, the filler didn't really hurt it that much. So with all that being said, I think your boy's going to give this bad boy a 4 out of 5, 4.5 out of 5. You know, like I said, it's not a perfect 5 because there's just a little too much filler in for me, but it's still a damn good book, and I highly recommend it. It's better than the movies, of course, you know what I'm saying? But definitely check it out if you have some spare time. It's a honky bitch. It is a big bastard. So you're going to be, it took me a month and 3 days to finish this. So, but all right. Definitely check it out. Definitely recommend it. If you got time, give her a read. And now, with the emotional heaviness of it, I was like, man, I need something a little more laid back, a little more fun. And I've been hearing about a certain series that kind of has gotten me a little interested. And I figure, you know what? I'll give the first book a try. And if I like it, I'll continue on with the series. And that is Dungeon Crawler Carl. I hear a lot about this book, a lot of good things. So I am really, really excited to see how this goes. And this says, the apocalypse will be televised. Welcome to the first book in the wildly popular and addictive New York Times best-selling Dungeon Crawler Carl series, now with bonus material exclusive, blah, blah, blah. You know what's worse than breaking up with your girlfriend? Being stuck with her prize-winning showcat. And you know what's worse than that? An alien invasion, the destruction of all man-made structures on Earth, and the systematic exploitation of all the survivors for a sadistic intergalactic game show. That's what. Join Coast Guard vet Carl and his ex-girlfriend's cat, Princess Donut, as they try to survive the end of the world or just get to the next level in a video game-like trap-filled fantasy dungeon. A dungeon that's actually the set of a reality television show with countless viewers across the galaxy, exploding goblins, magical potions, deadly drug-dealing llamas. This isn't your ordinary game show. Wow. So that sounds incredible. That sounds like a basically just go in and have fun with what you got. So, but we're going to be diving into Dungeon Crawler Carl next. So I already got a little bit of a start on bit, not much, but all right, guys. With all that being said, hope you enjoyed this episode of Media Fiend Beyond the Bookshelf. It was phenomenal. Check it out. And if you haven't done so yet, hit that subscribe button along with them bell notifications. That way, when your boy Media Fiend throws up one of these Beyond the Bookshelves, you're in the know. Also, hit that like button. Doesn't hurt. You know, it's free. Just tappity tap tap. So, all right, guys. All that being said, I love you guys. Thank you, guys. Until next time, this is your boy Media Fiend saying, as always, get yourself a good book, be chill, and we out. Peace.